We OG, oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro.
Run stuff.
Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro.
Buoyant.
Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What's up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live for another Ordinal hour. And it's going to be a good one today, guys. We don't have really a lot going on, but we have some really good topics we're going to get into and stuff like that. And obviously, today's Tuesday, so we're going to have Tap on later today for a Tap Tuesday segment. We always have at 12 o'clock, so it should be fun. And get your questions ready for those guys, because that's all we really have for them, right? It's questions. It's kind of what a lot of people ask me, what's going on with Tap, and it's like we don't know enough yet. And I think every Tuesday, especially during our segment, we can kind of get a little bit more, right? A little bit more, and that's kind of one of the reasons why we're doing that with them. We got not really much going on today, Bitcoin's down 57,000. Yagobi's going to get some charting stuff a little later. We're getting into the track validator stuff, some stuff like Ghosty about the dilution. I think we all got to pay attention to that. Seps Pump Fun had a partnership and a whole bunch more. Some Buoyant Capital stuff as well. But without further ado, let's bring my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
What's going on, dude? So how's everything with you on this Tuesday after Labor Day?
Not bad. Yesterday was a little bit slower day, because it was a holiday here in the U.S. But Bitcoin had a decent rise up yesterday, and then today it seems like we're giving all those gains back that we got yesterday, which is, it was good, but it wasn't huge gains. But again, pull back kind of to a little bit lower than where we started yesterday, I think so. But I'll get into that a little bit later. Other than that, the space is, it's exciting as it's always been in terms of builders, right? Builders and what they're doing behind the scenes. Yeah. But I know for the retail users, it's not super exciting. So we want that to come back.
I'm bored out my skull, bro. Seriously, when I'm searching through Twitter and stuff, I used to be so excited. Now I'm just bored by it. It's become it's not fun anymore. I don't know if anyone else feels that way. I'm curious how you feel, but Bitcoin and stuff, there's not, so if there's a mint, if someone mentions a mint, I'm like, it's gonna fail. If somebody says talks about something that's a coin coming, I'm like, it's gonna fail. You know what I mean? I just have such a negative attitude right now because that's all we've seen in the last 6 months was failure after failure after failure. no matter what it is. And it's not because of that project not being good or that mint not being amazing or that product not being great. It's just the fact that there's no liquidity and there's no new liquidity in the markets. It's all player versus player, which sucks because it's just like, oh, I got 20%, I'm going to sell. So it's just not a fun environment to be in right now. And I think that changes. I do think that changes, but I just think we're going to need Bitcoin to get back in the 60s.
Yeah, first of all, that's definitely the main driving force of if we can get back to fun over here, is if Bitcoin wants to, get the festivities going again, right? Obviously, that has a lot of variables going on with the upcoming election, as well as, just these TradFi guys being in here too. Look, they're probably trying to benefit as much as they can with the chop back and forth. We know market makers are, right. So I think we just got to be a little bit patient, kind of like how it's weird. You and I both kind of flipped a little bit, but now it seems like you're coming back a little bit, because this year you've been pretty annoyed with the chop, but you've been kind of calm and collective about it up until today. I feel like you let it go, but I was the one that had more anxiety, I would say, like a couple weeks ago. Just really zooming out, knowing where we're going to go, I think that will help.
I have like no anxiety though. I think that's the difference. I'm just bored out of my mind. Like, so this crypto is my fun. It's my joy, right? It's my hobby. It's everything to me. I wake up, I look at crypto. I get some free time at a doctor's office waiting for an appointment. I look at crypto. I'm not sitting there playing Clash of Clans on my phone like I used to. I'm looking for information. I'm looking for some fun, some excitement, some adrenaline rush, right? Something like, oh wow, that's going to be amazing, and not just as a financial gain, but maybe like some kind of gaming news, something new, right? Obviously, we have Foxy. I'm very excited for that. We're gonna get into that later. But like, besides that, I mean, there's nothing new, and if there is something new, I'm just like, it's just not the time. Why are they launching that right now? It's not the time. Right. So it's like, I minted my damn cat into the blockchain for like $10. Like that, like, you know what I mean, dude? Like, it's just so boring right now. And the fact that it cost me only $10 to mint my cat into the blockchain was pretty cheap. I mean, it was a pretty good mint here. I feel like everyone's kind of feeling like me right now, right?
Yeah, you're probably, I mean, you could see from just the audience numbers, not from our show only. I'm talking about the Ordinal show that usually averages in the busy season, they were averaging, 1,500, 2,000 people watching. When it slowed down some, averaging 800. But now, I mean, yesterday they had like 280 people in there, right? So, I mean, just the attention has kind of gone elsewhere for the people that are usually, just kind of like the surface level people, the people that maybe usually check in a couple times a week. That's gone down to like once a week and stuff like that. But it will come back, man. It's going to come back with a vengeance, I feel like, so we just got to be patient and wait for our time. And once our time comes, then you'll be like, man, I remember when it was slower. I missed that because it was not as hectic.
I don't think I'd ever miss this. These last 6 months have been tough. Mentally, emotionally, it's just been just like, it's you just want something to happen, and we know we're in the right place at the right time, right? And that's the messed up part. When you're at the right place, you're at the right time. Bitcoin ordinals, Fractal, Merlin, Runes, BRC20s, they're all gonna have their day. And it's just like you that you feel that in your bones, right? You feel that every single day. But the fact that it's just like, maybe tomorrow. It's just like, I'm sitting here, I'm like trying to entertain myself with other things, and it's just not as fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've done like, next month type of situation, because we talk to a lot of builders, right? And that's the mentality of the builders, is kind of like, okay, next month it's going to get better. Next month it's going to be better. And the thing about the builders too, you made a point earlier that I think that the builders are in a tough spot, like mentally, because they're trying to figure out when the right time is to be able to launch their project or collection, whatever they have. And because you don't want to launch things right now, really, unless you have something so big. Like, I think Fractal's big, and it has to be so big with like support behind it from like large entities, to where it's okay if it's not necessarily as bullish as you would like. right? But if you're like a smaller, medium-sized project, right now is like probably the worst time. I would say probably 2 weeks ago was like the worst time, but maybe check again here in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, because I think September is going to do something that the masses don't expect. Because usually, if there's so much piling up in one direction, Bitcoin will do a little bit of the opposite.
100%. And September 9th could change everything. Fractal launches September 9th. That's when you can do the ordinals, and then obviously 21,000 blocks later you can do BRC20s, and then the script language comes out. But for something like Fractal, I wouldn't want to launch when excitement is around, because your chain's going to be clogged up, expensive, beaten down, really, because everyone's expecting this amazing thing, but in reality it's just a fork of Bitcoin, right? But then you can potentially add some stuff later. You have OpNet and some other op codes and scripting language coming and all that stuff. But like if you're Fractal, you don't want it to be busy. You want to launch in like a boring time zone, because when people really aren't paying attention.
Yeah, well, so I think that you have to kind of hit that sweet spot, and it seems like September 9th could be that sweet spot, right? Because it's not going to be as bullish as everybody going crazy and like, oh, what am I buying? What's next? What's blah, blah. But it's like, okay, Bitcoin might be in a better spot, right? From an overall price perspective. But then you have probably the next 3 weeks to get everything to a point to where October can really get things going, right? So if Bitcoin, if it plays out to what we said, and maybe Bitcoin does what the opposite of what the masses think, and let's say we get to 67,000, that's a good spot, right? I think that's a good spot for a Fractal to be in after 2 weeks or something after launch, right? And they're getting close to being able to have these dApps, DApp type of applications on Fractal for people to do AMM stuff, degen trading, sats on, those kind of things. And then October is just like an awesome fall month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think you see anything like Sats Pump Fum stuff until October. I think we don't even know what the language is. People aren't even building on this yet, right? So obviously they might know the language because they're probably in talks behind. But like I would love to see the code and how it's written and stuff like that. I'm not a big coding guy, but I'll copy it and ask ChatGPT some questions, right? Yeah. So I mean that's kind of what I do. But let's kind of get the show started. Sorry guys for ranting and stuff. But on a good note, the Bitcoin hash rate hit an all-time high yesterday. So the miners, they're normally, what happens in these boring times is they cut their miners because they're not making money, they're not profitable. But you're seeing a lot of miners adding machines right now. So what does that tell you? And let me actually share my screen so you can see this chart, because it's a pretty amazing looking chart. So this is it right here, and you can see the hash rate just flying up. So you can see, this is kind of where we are in the Bitcoin chart, and this is kind of what the hash rate chart is. And you can kind of see we've been just kind of sitting here hitting this this limit here. So it does seem like as soon as we hit it, some get turned off. But as you can see right here, we're at an all-time high. We're about, for the first time, about to pass the price of Bitcoin hash rate through price. So pretty crazy.
Yeah, and this trend, it hasn't just started. I think we hit all-time high last month as well, right? So now, like, there's something happening that the miners are prepping for, and also there's a lot of like price support that comes kind of out of nowhere to really catch Bitcoin from going lower in different levels, right? And so there's a lot of people that are really good chartists that are saying, something feels different here. Like there's like this anticipation with kind of false flags of, bearish sentiment. So the bearish sentiment is there. It's obviously been real. We felt it the past, like, let's say month and a half, 2 months almost, with July and August. But what they're saying is, like, with that amount of bearish sentiment, they expected Bitcoin to, tumble further down than it actually has. So for them, a lot of people are feeling like, oh, there's something brewing here, and it might happen, when we least expect it to. And a lot of times Bitcoin does kind of surprise people, right? Of when it's going to take off and when it's going to dump.
Yeah, man, for sure. I'm thinking the miners are getting ready as well. Like they know what's the price action that's going to happen. They're trying to get as many of these Bitcoins as they possibly can. Obviously right now you're getting 3 per block, and you're probably getting like another 0.25 for transaction fees per block. But obviously that's not a lot, but it's still, in 6 months from now, they could be really big in numbers. The 3 Bitcoin. So that, to me, they're getting ready. And this is the first time in history the miners can sell stock and not sell Bitcoin, because a lot of the miners now are publicly traded, so they can sell stock in their company, and which allows them to kind of maybe sell Bitcoin later when it's at
higher
crazy numbers and buy some stock back. So
yeah, that's the advantage of these publicly traded mining companies is that exact situation, right? Like, and the board doesn't want them to sell the Bitcoin right now.
No.
The board's like, yeah, sell stock. Don't sell Bitcoin until Bitcoin's at a prime price.
So they can keep the lights on, and some of them now too, they're becoming businesses where as blockchain gets bigger, you're going to be doing a lot more, like, let's just say I think one of the big things is when they kind of burn the unused gas away. I forget what it's called. But they're actually making money now in separate ways other than Bitcoin as well. So
yeah. Well, I know that they're lending out kind of GPU
flaring. So they kind of get paid they get rid of some of that extra whatever
energy.
Get paid to do
it's the energy that the GPUs put out, and I think they lease it or sell it to AI type companies too. I mean, it just depends on what the demand is for them right then, right? So they'll probably 100%. Use more of it once things get higher volume on chain.
Next thing here is $108 billion investment firm VanEck is predicting $2.9 million Bitcoin by 2050. And they're saying and you're bearish, but I think this is actually a very bearish prediction. And I do. I think we're talking, what's it, 2024? We're talking in
26 years.
26 years? Like, no, get out of here. I think 26 years, Bitcoin's be over $1 billion.
$1 billion? Wow.
Yeah, I truly believe that. Yeah, I think one Bitcoin is going to be that high, and I think that we're talking 26 years from now with the government. I mean, think about it, how much debt we added in the last 4 years. We have added over $12 trillion in debt, and you're telling me like Bitcoin's just there's only 21 million of these things. It's going to be a fight, a complete fight for these coins in 26 years. I guarantee it. So there's only 21 million Bitcoin, and there's way more than 21 million millionaires, and eventually they're all going to wake up, and the boomer's going to die off, which means the younger generation doesn't want gold. Like, if someone gave me gold, I'm selling it right away and buying Bitcoin, right? That's just kind of my mentality, and I don't think it's different from a lot of younger people as well. They're digital; they grew up digitally, right? They don't want bars of gold that their house can get robbed, and you know what I mean. Like with Bitcoin, you can like smash your hardware wallet and just keep your 12 words. You can memorize your 12 words and cross borders. You can't do that with gold. And I think a lot when the boomers die off, their sons, and you can kind of see that in the gold bugs and their sons. Most of their sons are Bitcoiners, just like Peter Schiff. His son's a big Bitcoiner. So
yeah, and gold will always have its place, right? But it's going to be viewed as like a legacy type of asset, but hey, that doesn't matter. Like, if you look at jade, which has been a valuable asset in China for like hundreds and hundreds of years, still very highly sought after, right? So gold will have its place, but I think you're right in terms of like the spotlight. Bitcoin will continually take that spotlight from gold, but gold will still have its values, just in a different ways, right? Like you said. So
yeah, I don't know. If an asteroid ever hit Earth and it was covered in gold, how long does gold hold its value for? You know what I mean? Like gold, I think there can always be new and more gold coming in when Bitcoin is finite. There's only
yeah. I mean, when you talk about supply and demand, of course, right? Like that's it. But gold has reached this point to where that really doesn't matter as much. It matters more about the perception of it, right? Like it's looked at as something that's used for
to boomers,
jewelry and stuff like that. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, centuries and centuries, jade has been highly valued, and it will continually do so. So I just think that yes, there will be a shift. So I agree with you in that aspect in terms of the spotlight of the new, highly sought after asset, and that will be Bitcoin.
And I don't even see anyone wearing gold anymore. Like I don't know anyone. Maybe someone has a gold chain or something, like a gold cross or something like that. But I rarely see anyone even in Philly, you can't be rocking no chains and stuff for here. You'll get robbed. So it's like I don't really see it. I don't really know anyone who wears jewelry. I don't wear no jewelry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Well, how many people do you know that wears jade?
I don't know
Probably,
anyone. I don't.
yeah.
I've actually never even heard of Jade. I'm gonna have to look it up after this episode. So
Yeah. So exactly. So it's definitely a lot more popular in the East, right? But that's my
Yeah.
point, though. It's still like you could make a ton of money if you came across a rock that was jade in center, right? So that's just the point that I'm making. And at the end of the day, though, Bitcoin will be the featured asset, though. I agree with that, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. This is pretty cool. This is so Jake Blockchain. He's one of our followers, and he's a watcher and stuff. So I want to shout him out, and I want to bring up his.
Jacob Brown.
He posted something really cool. I should have had it ready. Sorry, it slipped my mind.
We got to count how many times Shizzy says that throughout the year. I should have had it ready.
I should have had it ready, but let me see, because I did have it up, but then I cut it off.
It happens to me all the time. Like you put something up on X and you want to share it, and then like you just don't realize it, and you click on something else to look at.
That's exactly what happened here, and of course, it's not easy to find. Oh, here it is. Okay, let me show my screen. So he posted, bro, what XTV is a real thing on Amazon App Store. So he logs in, and what does he see? He sees Ordinal Revolution at the top. So finally, and I know this doesn't have too much to do with Bitcoin, but the way we get information now can finally be a little bit better in the sense of we've been getting letters from YouTube saying our episodes are getting demonetized because we might have said the word election, or we might have said one of the people's names in one of the episodes. It's getting, guys, it's every single day we're getting these notes saying, hey, we had to take this one down, or we had to demonetize this, because we said something about one of the candidates. And I don't even want to say it because it's scary to get, we work so hard to get our channel up. I would hate for something to, get it taken down for a reason. But now having this, we have options now as users because of what Elon has done for this X platform and really pushing free speech. So this is really big, especially to us, especially to me. I'm a big YouTube watcher, and I don't want to support YouTube anymore. So I'm going to be someone who switches to X fully. We'll still be streaming over here, but we're also going to be streaming over there as well.
Yeah. But just for clarity, we are going to follow the rules of YouTube. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it is the platform there, right? So we don't want to, deplatform ourselves or anything like that. But I agree with you in terms of competition is always good, right? And I was actually more surprised that the Amazon. So basically, it seems like Bezos might be kind of aligning a little bit here because he's allowing the X app on the Amazon store. To see X app on the Apple Store, I don't know if we'll see that. But I checked on my Samsung TV and I couldn't find it on there. So I guess that some of the smart TVs don't have that X app yet. But I hope that it happens because I love that. I wanna download that as soon as possible.
Yeah, I want to get it. Hopefully, it gets to iOS soon, and I'm able to download it over there because that's the number one place where I watch most of my YouTube and things is was on my phone because I have kids, and when I'm playing with them, I put my phone in place, put an earpiece in, and we can play Power Rangers and stuff. But yeah, man. So I'm excited for this, and shout out Jacob Brown or Jake Blockchain, really for the first person that I've seen that from. So that was really cool.
Yep.
All right, let's get into the Bitcoin fear and greed. Yesterday was a 26. Last week was a 48. Where are we today? And I'm going to say
33.
Okay. So we're not there, but
what?
We are at a 26. 3 days in a row at 26.
Interesting.
3 days in a row.
We did jump up some yesterday, so I expected some irrational change of score because it's so volatile. This is more volatile than Bitcoin's price.
I've never seen it 3 days in a row at the same exact number, though.
Oh, maybe they need some help.
Maybe it's broken.
Yeah.
Binance is down. But yeah, man. All right, guys, it's time to get into the Bitcoin price action. Find out what's going on over there. Brought to you guys by BitPerp. BitPerp is going to be one of the leading leverage platforms in Bitcoin. You're going to be able to do your 100x on your favorite runes, potentially your favorite BRC20s in the future as well, and maybe your favorite fractal stuff because you can really put anything over there. BitPerp actually had a announcement today that they partnered with Sats Pump Fund. So that's huge. I don't know what aspect they're going to be working with them for, but potentially you're going to be able to take your Sats Pump Fun coins and immediately get them listed on BitPerp for leverage trading. So doing 100x and stuff like that for Mr. Yen will be possible. BitPerp is working on which testnet. If you can go on there right now, you guys can't get on there yet, but me and Yagobi have access to it. But just to kind of test it out for them and help them out with that aspect. But there's 3 chains that are listed in testnet, so these guys are going to be working hard and potentially be on multiple chains, which is going to be pretty awesome.
Yes. So before we get into the Bitcoin price action, guys, if you're on the YouTube side, please smash that like for us, hit that subscribe button, and turn your notifications on so you know when we go live. On the Twitter side, or on the X side, I should say, like our stream, our spaces, and share our spaces for us, guys. It helps us a ton. So thank you so much for the support. All right, so let's take a look at this very sad price action this morning. No, it's not too bad, guys. I mean, we'll always get through whatever we go through, right? And we're going to get through it together. So
promise.
Yes, I promise that. All right, so obviously you can see, and if you pay attention to Bitcoin's price action yourselves, that you saw there was a pretty good sized dump this morning from 58, almost 59,000. Yesterday we got up to we wick up to 59,743. So yesterday I was calling for 59.5. So we did hit that. I still believe in that theory that we're going to reach that 61.5, 62,000 this week. You have to remember, right now we're in this weird consolidation chop price action. So when we do see a push up or a push down, typically the market makers and the Wall Street traders, they'll try to kind of do the opposite the next day, and that's what we're seeing here, right? So you can see the stochastic RSI is showing that we're in oversold. We've been in oversold for a good minute here. This is the hour chart, and then on the MACD, this sell pressure is just building up. So you can see that we'll probably chop up and down with a soft downtrend is what I'm thinking, because I do expect, like I said, later this week for us to kind of get back to that uptrend and get to those numbers that I was talking about, right? So for the second half of today, though, I definitely am, very cautious, staying out of the market. I did take a long yesterday. I closed that out. I did pretty well. So congrats to the people that did that. But I'm not going to announce what I do on the show because it's just, I'm wrong too a lot, right? So I don't want people to get wrecked based off of my plays. But yesterday definitely worked out. Today, for the second half, like I said, I think we're going to see probably some chop up here when I look at the support and resistance. Earlier, man, it was all resistance, right? That was a part of that sell down. But we are starting to see some support build back up in the higher 57,000 range, but it's still outweighed by the resistance there. So that's why I'm cautious about it, and I think there's going to be a soft downtrend. Maybe even get close to 57, lower 57,000s, but that's, I don't like to just predict price exactly like that. So, but that's what I'm seeing for the second half of today. If we get to the 8-hour chart, though, this is a chart that I like, actually. So this will play into the, getting back up to the 61, 62,000 range before possibly another manipulated move by the market makers to grab liquidity lower. But you can see here on the 8-hour chart that this is starting to close up. The MACD is starting to weaken up here. See the blue and orange lines starting to get closer. So if today we kind of have more of a chop and then we end the day with, not dipping too low, not getting lower than 57,000, then we could start the, late today to maybe, reverse the price action back to the upside, and then early tomorrow. That would definitely start to confirm this, rise up on the 8-hour, which would give us, a 7-day kind of forecast of getting up, heading towards that 61, 62,000. So that's what I see for today and also for the rest of the week for Bitcoin.
So when Lambo? No,
when kidding. Lambo 2020, 2030.
So this is what I see. I see sideways, right? You look deep and it's awesome. But at the end of the day, you got to zoom out a little bit. Not saying you. I think we do a good job with that. But I'm saying, as someone who's in here, I'm just waiting for this to happen, right? This big green dildo that I have here, and it just doesn't stop. It just does not stop. And I see it hitting these numbers up here. So When in doubt, zoom out and look for giant green dildos, and you'll be
what chart is that? Is that the daily chart?
This is the USD. This is the daily. Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Well, yeah, I definitely see this eventually. So that's my prediction. But so this is the name of the show today. It's UPTEMBER or REKTEMBER to crash Bitcoin ecosystem. Again, check out this live stream before selling. So this is obviously a little bit of clickbait here, but what do you think about this month? Do you think it'll be up? Do you think it'll be down? Yeah, a lot of people calling for September, very boring month. It's been historically sideways for a long time. If you go all the way back in all the Septembers, they're either pretty red or they're very little bit of green. But what do you think about UPTEMBER or REKTEMBER?
Yeah, so everybody is calling for REKTEMBER, right? Or at least they were a week ago. Like I said, I think that Bitcoin likes to do the opposite of what the masses are necessarily calling, right? So I could see a chop, up and down with like a 5,000 range with a slight uptrend, right? So I'll be happy with that. If you look at this year's August compared to last year's August, it was a little bit better. And I think it was minus 11% last year, and then it was minus 8% this year, around that range. And so it was about 3%. 3 basis points better, right? And if you look at the September of 2024, we were a net positive 3%, right? So we were actually green last September. People aren't thinking about that. They're just thinking about a cumulative average over the past, 10 years or whatever. So if we follow a trend of how August did, then I would expect us to maybe be in a positive like 5-6% for September. Obviously, that's speculative based off of how August was for 2024 compared to 2023. But what else do we have to go off of, right? Other than, events. And the only huge event this month is the rate cuts on the 18th of September. So.
Yeah, man. Let's jump into some roll call here because I don't know what happened to the banner. There it is. I found it. All right, we're good. Banner's back. All right, let's jump into that roll call. Let's see who is here on this very, very boring Tuesday. But we appreciate you guys watching. We have 156 people watching us right now. That means so much to us, guys. I want to say that you guys tuning in every day to watch us banter back and forth and give you guys our opinion, which is actually amazing. And just want to appreciate you guys. And because today's one of those days where I would have if I was doing my machining job for my past life, I would be listening to a book today. Right, just try to learn different types of things. So I appreciate you guys being here today. But Mr. Hanky, the Christmas Pooh, he loves me and I love you. You, sir, win today. You are number one. You are here every single day, and today is your day, my friend. Welcome to the number one club. I'm not sure. I think you got it many times before, actually. Now I think about it.
Yeah.
Zahid in that second spot. Shout out to Zahid, man. Mr. Sheedy in that third spot.
Let's go.
Chief Axel is here. 6 is in the building. He says Bell's Cats is minting out fast. 40,000 holders a date. I haven't really looked into Bell's Cats, but I will. Reziak is here. My boy Danny is in the house. Shout out to Danny boy. You, my friend, are amazing. PJNZ is here. Mike's World. Lackey Lukey. Another one of our mods, Danny and Yasher, are mods. Good day, lovely people. Shout out to you, my friend. Webdro, he's been here every single day now. We appreciate you. So no, not Sidetember. Sidetember would be worse than REKTEMBER, in my opinion. I'd rather go down to the 40K range than sit here at 56, 54, 57, honestly.
Ugh,
but
40K.
In my opinion, I would love to see 40K. At this point, I would absolutely love it. I'm not even joking with you. Because it would just be exciting. My adrenaline would be rushing. I'd be like, what can I do? But so Mr. Hanky, Kai Effect, big goofy guy in the building. Ordinals,
big goofy
brother. Ordinals chips. You guys are back to back. I swear you're the same guy. I love you both, you guys. Glasshopper is here. No is here. He says, through thick and thin, Bitcoin will win. Shout out to you, my friend. Superfan goes, it's going to be October for sure. Let's go. My boy E-Buck is in the building. Shout out to E-Buck. Joko is here. He said, I'm super happy about Billy Cat I've received from you guys yesterday. Thanks so much. Yes. So check if you guys post it on the inscription. You might have, I gave 3 away, and you know what? I might give away a couple more today. So if you haven't commented on that description, you still have time. So I'll let you, if we have time at the end of the show, maybe I will jump into that a little bit. Maybe I'll give away a couple more Billy Cats. Rick G is here. Almost done. It says, hi, I get a birthday shout out from you. Yagobi's actually going to sing you happy birthday. Go ahead, Yagobi.
Happy birthday.
I'm just playing. But happy birthday, almost done. We appreciate you guys. You rock, my friend.
September birthdays are the best. This is my birthday month too, but this is your day. Don't want to take that. So happy birthday, almost done. 71. Let's go.
You think he's 71 years old and he's almost done? Like he's just almost done life.
Hey, if that's true, then I got to give him, some more shout out here because he's showing up to our show, right? So he's not almost done.
He had 71 birthdays, man. I'd be happy. He or she. Well, come on. Everyone who watches the dude. We have no chicks that watch this show. I'm just playing. Ethan Toshi is here. Patty Poo, SPI. Mark from Launch Punk. Shout out to you, my friend. He says BTC September 60K, October 70K. I can't do sideways for all months, Mark. Benjamin is here. He says, let's go. Smash that like button. Yes, please listen to Benjamin. He's a very smart man. Smash that like button. Thiago, he said, when Lambo. It'll be Tuesday. I'm not sure what Tuesday, but it'll be a Tuesday. I promise.
He's been asking that same question every day. I want to count how many days in a row he asked that. That's funny.
He goes, oh man, Cash Cats. We like to call him Coach Cats here. He's the coach. Always bringing the coffee and the donuts and the dog go to the moon. Shout out to Cash Cats, man. Always here. Appreciate you, my friend. Thiago again. He said, dog go to the moon. The only fairly distributed meme coin on Bitcoin. Yes, meme coin literally inside the Bitcoin blockchain, and there's no team behind this coin. A true meme coin. Whoa! You can say Leonidas is a part of the team there.
I think he's a leader. He's a leader in the
community leader. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Patty Poo says pizza swap not working well in testnet. Yes, I went to go use that this morning, and I was having the same issues, but it's down on maintenance. That's why we're in testnet right now. So let's get all this stuff worked out. They got 6 more days until launch. I think it'll be postponed, but that's just me. KDN is here. Steamy J is here. Sixes said gold to 10K in 3 years. Maybe. Superfan says, shouting out the Philly thugs. Hide your gold chains, y'all. Shout out to Superfan. I love that comment. Shout out to you, my friend.
Is he from Philly too?
Nah, he's not a Philly guy. Yeah. I can normally tell by the accent, and I don't think
he's from New York.
Had the Philly accent. Drex is here. PZ is here. Shout out to PZ. He says, short squeeze. That'd be nice.
We've been saying that for months, though, the short squeeze. And that's one of the things. It's like when everybody says something, Bitcoin does the opposite, right? Because like 62,000 is that, or sorry, 72,000 is that big short squeeze if we could get up there. But
100%. Satoshi, yes, it's a September birthdays, F the world, and then Trade is here. Says Foxy Bitminer explain. Yes, so we will have Foxy on the show at around 12 o'clock. They will be one of the Tap Tuesday guests. And tomorrow, let's kind of break this down for them. He said, I'm a Brooklyn boy. We're neighbors, Shizzy. Yes, I mean, you're only like an hour and a half away from me, a train ride away. So shout out to you, my friend. So tomorrow, we're going to have Foxy. We're going to be doing a live stream before the live stream, right? This is the first time we're ever going to do that. It's going to be super early for us, so expect a lot of coffee and dropping and stuff like that. So I spilled my coffee again. It's going to be one of those mornings, but we will be live streaming the Foxy game. So Foxy's going to be live. Their game's going to be out for 24 hours, and when we go live, will be the first 2 hours, and then we're going to do the last 2 hours. So 24 hours later, we'll be doing another stream on Thursday morning. And we're going to get into, but that's going to be Clan Wars. The last 2 hours are going to be Clan Wars. That's going to be the fun part. So Wednesday, get in the game, start practicing. Thursday, join the Ordinal Revolution clan, and we're going to kick ass. So we can only allow 25 members, but we're going to have a video later tonight, potentially, if we have time. Probably tonight, a members video. So if you are a member, join that, because we want to get our members in there. So because the guys have been rocking with us for so long. So if you're a member, join the live stream tonight. And we're gonna walk you in how to join the Ordinal Revolution clan, so we can win Thursday morning.
Yep. It's gonna be fun, guys. Get ready.
All right, all right. Let's see here. So Fluid just posted a tweet, and I have it right here. I actually did get it up. So let me grab it right here. They posted, they said the first staking transaction in our private mainnet has happened. 2 ordinals. Can you guess the collection? We know the collection. But let's just has they announced it yet? I don't know, but we
I
know the
mean, I pretty
collection.
much did on my X account, but yeah, I think
So
that I think they said something on their post here. But yeah, I mean, I'm super excited about this, guys.
yeah,
There's so much that can actually come out of this, and I'm not going to go into deep detail. I was super excited yesterday. We were talking to one of our partners, and let's just say this mechanism can really help sustain the ordinal ecosystem with new projects and stuff like that. I'll leave it at that. But anyways, let's get back to this news here.
yeah. So they basically said, obviously we had Raul on Friday, and he talked to you about the staking mechanism. So you're gonna be able to stake your ordinal and earn runes. You're gonna be able to stake your runes and potentially earn whitelists for ordinals. You're gonna be able to do a lot of things. If you are a founder and you would like to have your assets staked, reach out to either us or the team over there at Fluid, and they're taking applications now for their staking mechanism. They're using Bitcoin's time lock. So it's not even, they're not even doing the custodian stuff. It's going to be locked to a block, and that's it, right? So they're going to be just kind of earning a little bit of fees doing that. That's it. That's the motivation for them to do it. But it's awesome for us because we're going to have TVL on Bitcoin. We're going to have locked value on Bitcoin, not being held by a third party, but actually just being locked in your wallet, which is pretty amazing. So look out for Fluid, and we're going to be able to earn by staking our assets. And FLDT token is going to be coming over from Cardano to the runes, and you're going to be able to earn that. It's going to be the Fluid rune. You're going to be able to earn that by staking your Fluid pass. So your Fluid pass is going to drop, and that is officially one of the 3 things that will be stakeable on day 1, which is probably going to be the 12th, as he said in a tweet earlier. But yeah, what do you think?
I love this. Like I just mentioned, I think this is going to change the game for ordinal collections and for runes in our space, because there's going to be some really smart people that I think follow the idea that we were talking about, and hopefully we can get into that soon on the show. But it's just a great way to kind of stopping this launching projects in a slow time, and everybody's like hoping to make 2, 3, 4, 5, 6x in the first couple of days, and then after that the opportunity is gone. You know what I mean? So I think that this is going to be a huge variable to really just strengthen the collectible industry over here.
100%. Yeah, man. All right, moving to the next thing here. Agora introducing the first ever BTC futures contract on a Bitcoin prediction market. Predict BTC's closing price at the end of September, above and below 60K by September 30th. So let's take a look at this. I have pulled up the Agora, Agora. So now you'll be able to basically long and short using Agora. So this is pretty cool. What do you think about this? And they have been adding and adding, bro. Aletheus is doing their thing right now. I kind of want to see their TVL.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if the TVL is updated though, because it says right there, yeah, that's been the same. But I think that because the thing with the TVL is you get 1% of the market makers payment gets added to the TVL to a distribution to all the AA holders is my understanding. But that's where also Fluid staking mechanism comes into play, in my opinion, right? Because the distribution can get happen through the staking mechanism. But anyways, this is the beginning parts of Aletheus Agora, and so I think they're working through some of those things. But it's really cool that they're adding markets all the time, and then the college football markets are always fun.
Yeah, man. So I'll be taking one of we should take one of these. What do you think? Maybe we'll do a show later this week, and we'll make a bet. Maybe I'll take one side, you take the other, and kind of see where we're at. So I think it's really cool. Biden finished term. I'd actually vote yes on that probably.
Yeah, because I don't think they're gonna.
I mean, he's on vacation. Yeah, so
Yeah.
he doesn't do anything. Like, he doesn't. Why would he quit? Like, he's getting free money. I mean,
At the beach.
yeah. I mean, not 4 years ago, his net worth was 9 million, and now today it's worth 24 million. So I don't know why would you quit? Why would you quit?
Exactly.
Moving along here. Sats Pump Fun is proud to announce a partnership with BitPerp. We said it earlier.
Yeah.
But what do you think this actually could be?
BitPerp is going to be, launching on a scaling solution. We do know, initially it was like an EVM type of scaling solution that they're looking to launch on, right? We'll get further confirmation if that's, that is going to be the case, but doesn't mean that they can't have a presence on Fractal. They would obviously have to have a separate backend and all that stuff. But look, let's just say that that is the case and that they, are on Fractal, they have a presence there. Then whenever these successful tokens that reach the bonding curve, get out and there's a lot of support behind them, they can quickly get added to BitPerp, right, for their leverage platform, right? So if you had something like Dog with Hat, happen on Fractal, it gets to, I don't know, $500 million market cap, right? And then BitPerp will most likely try to pick that up. And obviously, I'm just speaking out of speculation, but that's where I see that partnership really thriving.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I definitely feel the same way. I think, potentially once something launches and they're confident in it, I think it's like 30% is filled up. They can actually take that and Sats Pump Fund can actually take that and put that on an exchange, and then potentially maybe reach out to BitPerp and say, hey, let's get this listed for perp trading as well, which gives it more value because you're able to do more things with it and stuff like that. So, and then that can be immediately put on there, and then somebody who is bullish on it, you can you don't have to buy it. You can actually use EVM and pump it that way as well. So with perp trading, you don't need to own the asset to take leverage on it. So I think that's really cool.
Exactly.
I think that's a perfect partnership in my opinion.
Yeah. And if it gets big enough, then it just can synthetically be added, kind of like, what Surf does for like Solana tokens and stuff like that. So,
yep, 100%. All right. The next thing here is Buoyant Capital. Oh, that's not it. It is, but it's not. That's the link for the thing there. But Buoyant Capital, beyond the door is an ecosystem, multiple assets and products for the Bitcoin community. So I actually want to just read this article here. So basically, Rune Door, our first release of the 10K Ordinal collection, and then Logo of the Wolf Pup. We both know what they are. But then there's something new here called Moon Fund. We're developing a new product called Moon Fund, which introduces a staking mechanism. Stakers will receive donated profits with zero risk, and their funds will not be used to generate revenue. Other funds will not be used to generate revenue. Buoyant Capital will manage a special fund with 70% of the profits used to buy back Lobo and distribute those who stake their token. So you're going to stake your Lobo, and you're going to be able to earn in this Moon Fund and more Lobo. So that's freaking cool. And they're not using your funds. They're just locking them, probably using what very similar to what Fluid's doing, but they're going to be locking potentially, your tokens up so you can't sell them. And by doing that, you're going to get more Lobo that they're going to be trading and getting. And there's also going to be something else called the Loboverse. Our upcoming launch is the Loboverse, a 10K PFP collection featuring a dynamic mechanism and new lore designed to onboard more people in the Bitcoin and Ordinal. So they're probably going to do a staking for whatever this 10K collection is, the Loboverse. I have a Rune Door. I have some Lobo, so I'm hoping to get a whitelist for this collection. And as soon as I get it, I'll probably just stake it, and maybe I'll earn some Lobo for doing that as well. For the buyback and give. So I'm actually starting to get really bullish on these guys. But what do you think?
I don't know, man. The beginning part kind of sounds a little bit like a pipe dream, right? Like who's the donated profits? Like who's donating those? Who's giving those donated profits, right, to start the fund? That's the biggest thing. But hey, if they have that, then great. But then at that point, you're basically relying on them to trade well enough to be able to build up this liquidity to buy back Lobo. So hey, it could work out, especially heading into the bull leg, right? The bull run in the winter and late fall, because at that point trading becomes so much easier when Bitcoin's just on that rocket ship, right? So it could be a good play for that. But let's see how it plays out. I mean, because they did announce that they were going to be using trading profits to do something, I want to say like 2 months ago. You know what I mean? I forgot what it was, but I think it was actually the staking. So maybe they're just starting to implement it now.
Yeah, I remember that being TBD or whatever it's called. They said in that, so to be determined. So I guess now they're finally putting their plan into place here, and it's definitely getting me bullish on Lobo. I hold Lobo because it's basically a derivative on dog. When Bitcoin goes up 3%, dog goes up 10%, Lobo goes up 18%. Right, so that's kind of the reason why I'm holding some Lobo, just to kind of get some leverage on dog a little bit without being a degen and doing it on surf and stuff like that. So I just think that, if dog goes to $1 billion, Lobo goes to 100 million, and being right now being $15 million market cap or even lower, that's a lot of X's for me. So that's kind of the reason why
I do agree with that. I do agree with that. There is going to be a tie to dog probably forever, right?
Yeah.
So
if you're bullish on dog, you have to be bullish on Lobo, but you can't go and stake your dog anywhere unless Fluid does it. We don't know if they're going to do it, but now you can take your Lobo and come here, and I mean, you're going to get probably 30% off the market. Yeah. Right? I mean, if you're holding it, why wouldn't you stake? If you're like me and you're planning to hold it long term, why wouldn't you just? I mean, these are if anything did happen to Lobo, Buoyant Capital would go down too, right? So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, if you believe Buoyant Capital is going to be around, Lobo is going to be around. At the end of the day,
I think those guys are smart enough to realize that there's an opportunity this Q4, right? Yeah. Regardless, you put it out there, and then as a holder of Lobo, I think you hit the nail on the head that it will be tied to dog, right? So it's kind of like, not necessarily, nothing is a true win-win, but like I feel like this is a soft case of that, right? Like you're gonna hold Lobo anyways, because if you think dog goes to $1 billion, then you're gonna get a 5x or whatever that is for you holding Lobo. But also there's this cherry on top opportunity with the staking mechanism that they're talking about here. So
100%. All right, well, it is Tuesday. It is Tap Tuesday, and before we meet with those guys in 10 minutes, I got a bunch of Tap stuff. People say we don't talk enough about Tap, but we kind of save that stuff for Tuesday for this exact reason, because we want to kind of get into the Tap news and then right into talking with the builders. So if you guys have any questions about what we're about to talk about, potentially we might have some of the builders on today, but we'll see. But the first thing is BRC20 to protocol transition. So obviously we know that a lot of the BRC20s are going to get a fractal because they're going to have the 6-digit, 7-digit tickers over there. So you can see the 4 and the 5s immediately get bridged to fractal. And Benny, being who he is, he's been around since the very beginning, and he's saying he's going to make an opportunity for instead of you taking them to fractal, you can take them to Tap. And with Track being a BRC20, he's basically saying, don't take your Track to fractal, take it to Tap. And he's saying that without saying it. That's my what I'm thinking of it. But what do you think about this?
I think he spotted an opportunity, right, to try to convert some projects possibly that aren't excited about fractal. That's what I see from it, really. And I think it's actually really smart, to be honest, because you're not going to have a ton of BRC20 on-chain activity on Bitcoin because of fractal. Fractal is going to take a lot of that attention away. And then he's seeing this as like, actually, I think Benny probably loves the fact that fractal came out, because in his mindset, he's kind of like, okay, I can kind of eliminate one of my competitors. Now it's just runes, right? But they're not going to go away completely, because there is an Bitcoin native chain modular swap that Unisat said they're going to come out with. But I feel like it's kind of like a go for the kill moment, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. And we'll see how many projects actually do this, right? I mean, obviously, the Tap swap, it's coming. I mean, they have the website. We showed the website last week, and when you go to it, you can go to the markets where we trade now, kind of like your NFT type of trading, and then you're gonna have your type of swap, and it's gonna happen. So I'm just curious when, but when that does, are you gonna be taking it to Fractal, which is technically a side chain, or are you going to take it to Tap, which is technically on layer 1? So that'll be, because obviously no one at Unisat, in my opinion, they're not really building the modular system on L1 no more, because they're having issues and they're kind of building it. They're building a modular system on Fractal because of OpCat and stuff like that. Because they're obviously, if they were able to do the white module, which is the withdrawal, they would have that up right now. So they're, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, they can really experiment on Fractal with OpCat to see how they can, optimize that whole modular system. And then when Bitcoin Core adds OpCat, they'll be like, okay, well, we can just, upgrade or update the code to the modular system on native Bitcoin to match what we have on Fractal. Obviously, it's not going to be as fast in terms of transactions and stuff, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting next 6 months. I know I say that a lot.
Yeah.
6 months.
No, I'm 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff happening, right? Fractal, OpCat. When is that going to be added? We don't know. And then you have these other kind of layers like Arch Network that are providing Bison Labs, Arch Network that are using ZK technology, to providing like smart contract capability with the off-chain data storage for that, but then being able to have basically finality on Bitcoin. So it's going to be interesting because a lot of these projects are aiming to kind of accomplish the same thing, to make it more smooth, less of a hurdle to be able to do degen stuff.
Yeah, I agree. It's just funny to see Benny come in here and just be like, no, I want BRC20s over on Tap. Pretty cool. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But the track validator round 4, I'm pretty sure it's sold out. So that was 1,000 track, I believe, per validator. So it started off 250, and then so it's a lot. And so what do you think about this, man? It did take the whole time to sell out. I think it took over 24 hours, but it sold out, and which is pretty big.
Yeah, it's going to get harder and harder because it's going to be more track. I think the next round is 5,000 track, maybe.
Is it really? Okay, it jumps that high.
Well, it goes all the way to 20 or 10. Sorry, 10,000 is the highest, I think. Yeah, but it's going to be harder and harder unless Bitcoin really levels up, right? If Bitcoin levels up to that 70,000 range or something, then that next round will probably be quicker than this one. So projects really need that positive market sentiment, man, and it's showing. We were able to get away with it somewhat last year because it was so innovative and so new with ordinals and BRC20s, but this year the focus has been a lot on Bitcoin's price action instead of ecosystem, because trying to figure out where it wants to go. Right.
Yep. So, last thing here, GhostyCash. Key data of Spooky supplies 77 million. Swap for Ghosty to Spooky possible? Yes. Initially available chains, BTC, meta protocols, EVM, dilution to be announced. And if there's 33 million Ghosty and there's 77 million Spooky, so if you give 1-to-1, you're looking at a possible 50% cut. So obviously when you get funding, like we assume Ghosty has gotten, you need to give away some of the token supply, and that's kind of seeming what Ghosty has done here. But they came on our show and they talked about it last week, so it is no surprise, or 2 weeks ago, and it is no surprise, but it is happening. Spooky will be out soon, and Ghosty will kind of be gone. But what do you think about this and the dilution and everything that comes with it?
So I think the Ghosty side of things, I honestly don't. I'm not too worried about that. I think that they're going to do something fair for them, right? Whether that's a 0.33% of or 33% of what of each Ghosty token you get, Spooky tokens, but I think what they were saying at the end there, EVM / tap dilution to be announced. This is more on the side of, there's going to be a tap version of Spooky and an EVM version of Spooky. How will that bridging work? How does it look in terms of dilution? Will they even want to bridge back and forth, or will it just be an EVM set of 777, 770, 777, or will it be, who knows, right? So I think that's what they're talking about with that. And honestly, I honestly don't think it's going to be a big deal until maybe after the bull market, right? Once things are slowed down and we're in the bear market, some, world events are really gloomy and stuff like that. That's when I think people will probably complain about it, because they already talked about their perpetual decks, so Spooky is going to be like this parent, or Ghosty is going to be like this parent company with multiple products underneath them. What does that look like though? I don't know, right? The only examples that we have of that are like larger entities, usually centralized exchanges or something like that. So it's gonna be interesting.
I'll tell you what though, the market likes it. Ghosty's back to 35 cents.
That's definitely a good sign.
The market's definitely liking this, even though they're being diluted. People are picking this up because Spooky's going to be big. It's going to be they're not going to create another token, right? They got the funding, they got everything they needed. They're, like you said, they're building the perp decks, and people are excited for this. And you can see, I mean, it was 18 cents just a few days ago, and today it's 35 cents. So people are buying this up right now, and they want that Spooky token.
Yeah, and like I said, the leg up of Bitcoin heading into some, all-time high numbers, let's say in late November, December, it won't matter. You know what I mean? Because at that point, if there's a solid team, a solid utility, at that point they'll have who their investors kind of helping with the marketing as well. They're going to be pushed really hard into the market, in my opinion. And so there's going to be the groups of people. It happens every cycle of stages that are, I say overthinking, but from a logical standpoint, that makes sense. They're going to be saying, what are the best utility projects? What are the best utility projects? And I think if Ghosty comes across their face, then they can't overlook that.
Yeah, and the fact that this is going to be EVM token as well, so you're going to be able to get it on other chains, right? So you're going to have access to this, and some people might say, hey, I want to get a little exposure to the Bitcoin. What can I do that without changing my wallet, without bridging, without anything else? And you can just say, hey, just buy the Spooky token. So it gives you exposure to the tap ecosystem. It gives you exposure to Bitcoin. It gives you exposure to everything they're doing over there on at the Ghosty team, right? So whether it's leverage trading or whatever else, even staking of maybe in the future, but who knows? But it's really cool that you can. This is going to be on EVM as well, so that's pretty big. But again, you're going to really tell by the market, and the market's saying we want this token. So 35 cents.
And don't forget about don't forget about their B2B plans too, right? You're talking about like providing APIs for swaps to integrate into your front end skin, so it doesn't. You're basically able to white label this, right, and make it look like it's yours, but there's obviously some sort of business model with them in terms of revenue. So when people do deep dives into it, I think they're going to say, oh wow, Ghosty has a lot going on, right? So, but it's yet to be seen in terms of what that's going to look like for many parts of the Bitcoin ecosystem. But the one thing I think we can all agree upon is it is exciting. So
100%. And before we get into Tap Tuesday, I just want to hit on this one question. He says, "Hi, Fluid Pass drop for the top 1,000 holder." Yes, it'll be the 12th. He's saying now. As long as things doesn't get pushed back, which we don't think it will be, but we think it's going to be September 12th. So look out for that. And let's see if I have any other questions in here. I think that's it. I think it's time to start Tap Tuesday. So
well, real quick, there was one more. Is Mr. Shizzy says, in your opinion, is there a possibility of data coming out that would change the Fed decision to cut rates? I don't think
CPI,
so at this point, right?
CPI is next Wednesday. If inflation goes up, back into the threes. Right now, we're sitting at about 2.9 year over year. If it goes back into the threes, we're going to have some problems. So yes, you need to pay attention to next Wednesday and next Thursday. Next Wednesday is CPI. That's core price index, and next Thursday is PPI, which is producer price index. PPI is is producer to producer, which is B2B, and CPI is consumer, what you're going to the supermarket for this year compared to last year. So yes, Wednesday and Thursday of next week are going to be huge, and you could really see a run up if inflation is back in lower twos, if we get between 2.7 and 2.9, you might potentially see some upward movement in everything, because then the Fed is definitely going to cut. It'll just become if they're going to cut 0.5 or 0.25.
Yep. All right. Well, it is Tap Tuesday. Let's get this party started. Let's bring up our main guy here, Track Lord Tom, and see what's going on with the Tap ecosystem. What is up, Tom? How was your day?
Yo, I'm good, thank you very much. So I've got some of my own personal opinions about some of the stuff you were just talking about, but in general, yeah, I think with regards to the Fed and rate cuts, one thing I will say is, despite a lot of people's criticism, this kind of iteration of the Fed have been very honest with their positioning, I would say. Often, they've kind of have been fairly data driven and have for the most part at least done what they said they were going to do. So there hasn't been any major surprises for the markets. And even though I would say that the previous few talks and meetings that we've had have been the message has essentially been quite bullish, but the wording has been cautious, I would say, in order to tamper people's bullish expectations, because you know how markets tend to front run themselves, and then essentially the data is saying, look, we are having kind of a soft landing and it is looking better. But if everyone gets too ahead of themselves, that might not happen, right? If everything pumps too early, it might not happen. And so I actually don't think anything too unusual will happen. And I think the Fed have held the rates high for potentially a little longer than they should have. But I think in the long term, that might, as long as it kind of still works, it's probably a good decision. It's just, they're cutting it a bit fine at this point. I think potentially that those rate drops do really need to happen. So I think that they will. And, I think the expectations are that they are certainly going to, yeah. And
I think they're going to come in.
Sorry, yeah, go on.
Oh, I think they're going to come in slow and steady. I think we're going to get 0.25 this one, 0.25 for the next one, and 0.25 for the following one. I just think we're going to get down into the fours. But what that's going to do is that's going to cause a lot of people who are getting 5% buying bonds. That's going to be like, okay, well, now I'm only getting 4%. I need to get more risk on. And I think that brings a lot more risk on. And what does that mean? That means Bitcoin is looked at like a tech stock, and that means Bitcoin is looked at as a risk on asset. And being a risk on asset, when rate cuts start to happen, that's when money can start pouring in over here, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if we do get the slow and steady, because one thing that we have seen previously is that a sudden rate cut can often be seen as a sign of weakness in the market. And even though it's very counterintuitive, you would expect that a sudden rate cut means everyone suddenly has a lot more cash. But in the short term, that isn't really true, right? It's just a projection for the future. So, during COVID and the previous big bear markets in the stock market, there was sudden rate cuts. We had a bit of euphoria and then we had a massive dump. So I would say that was potentially a symptom of the bad markets necessitated a rate cut rather than the rate cuts caused the crash, right? So I think that there is potentially a correlation causation issue going on there. But I think, having sustained slow rate cuts will be a sign of strength and, potentially really good. And I think you're right about diversification and looking at risk on assets, because, Dow Jones is still at all-time highs, really teetering at all-time highs. And yet here we are in the crypto market, especially the altcoin space, where we've been in a 6-month bear at this point. So I think, there's been a lot of people tempering their risks. But I'm seeing some signs that is starting to change. But it's very hard to say when you're at that kind of that trough, right? We're definitely in the trough, and I think most of the dumps are over. But whether we're at we've already had the exact bottom or not, or if there's going to be a flush, you can never say for sure. But in long term, I think we look great.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to apologize to everyone listening. I'm sorry to get into that. It's all Shizzy's fault. That's
good. That's good information, though.
No, I loved it. It was great, Tom. But it is Tap Tuesday, so let's get into your ghosty comments there.
Yeah, I mean, I think the ghosty thing is really interesting because there's a lot of people that are seem to be playing both sides of I can see why people could be bearish, and I can see why people would be bullish, right? Because if you're looking fundamentally, Ghosty hasn't really got a use case previously, right? It was a BRC20 token. It was a fair launch. They had a great product, brilliant product, probably the best on BRC20 at the time. But there was no tie-in, right? There was no tie-in. They could have maybe just done buybacks on the token, and they might have done that. It was, I don't know. I don't think they did though. But yeah, that's the problem, right? It was more like a belief in the like the fundamental future of the token. But right now we have like a clear vision of what's happening going forward. What we don't know is how those tokens are going to be distributed and what levels are, like, you know, as you say, what the swap ratio is going to be. But fundamentally, if you're going from having no real tie into the ecosystem to suddenly being like, oh, we're going to be on multiple platforms, we're going to have multiple features and revenue streams, and this token is going to be useful in such and such ways. And not only that, now we have some money, we can actually do something useful, right? So yeah, I think from that point of view, it's awesome. And I think, yeah, the price action is good. I'm like obviously very pleased to see that the token price is going up, because I'm an investor myself. I've had a decent stack of Ghosty since I bought it like 12 cents, you know, like a year ago, probably at this point, quite a while ago. So yeah, like, as much as I can see why if you're someone that's like maybe a bit like you're in the space a bit, but you're not really paying attention to what's going on, you might see the dilution and be like, oh God, no, like, why are they doing this to me? But like, I think fundamentally it's, you know, it's not necessarily a large dilution, and it's potentially just going to help the team out, and it's going to help the, you know, the overall future of the project. And, you know, seeing actual use cases tied in is really bullish for me. So I'm just chilling and holding what I have. And I think that once everything is up and running, a lot of these products that are, you know, showing that they're able to build sustainable long-term products are going to do really well. So yeah, it's a no-brainer. And I think you hit the nail on the head, Yagobi, when you said that probably this like 10 million extra tokens is really not going to be a big deal until, you know, bear market, right? Like until the hype is out of the system. But I think for the meantime, there's no reason to not be bullish.
Yeah, well, I mean, even then, you know, depends on how big Ghosty gets as an entity, right? Because if they have all these products underneath them, like the perpetual DEX, they already have their Ghosty swap, the B2B side, then they're a revenue generating machine at that point. Then you're looking at something like Chainlink, to where obviously not the project similarity. So for the audience, don't come at me with that, please. But more in the sense of stability and, you know, because there was a lot of times, I'm sure, that the early investors in Chainlink sold off their tokens because there was a time period where the price wouldn't move much and people were complaining about it. But at the end of the day, if it becomes that big, then even in the bear market, yeah, you will always have complainers, but it won't be like an actual problem, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So
yeah. All tokens dump in a bear market, but if you've got some tie-in, right, something that's actually going to be a deflationary pressure, that's always better than not having it, right? It's I would say it's a bit like what's been going on with Track at the moment. Like, obviously we've just had our 4th validator sale, and took a little bit longer, but it sold out. So that's another 300k Track off the market. And like, I think a lot of people were hoping that it would sell out immediately. What I noticed is that about 2/3 of it sold out very quickly, right? Like within the first like 20 minutes, like anyone that wanted to get their 10 in, they just got them in, and they were like, right, I got my 10. So there's clearly like a lot of people that are super bullish with big wallets that really want them, right? Like they bought their 10 and then they're just sitting on their hands waiting for the next opportunity. One thing to remember is that a lot of the little guys that have bought Track, they potentially might have only wanted 1 or 2 validator licenses, and if they were able to get them in the early rounds, they did, right? Like they just got them in the early rounds and they're chilling. They maybe they can't afford to have more. Maybe they, for whatever reason, they don't want to buy them at the current prices. But there's still clearly plenty of large holders that really just want to get as many as they can. So I think like as soon as it was opened up, because what we did with this one is we did allow 10 per wallet initially. And then we, you know, once we saw the trickle dying down and after a few hours, we were like, right, well, it's open for anyone now that wants to buy more. Even if they've bought 10, you can buy more if you want to, and then it's sold out. So I think it's like from my point of view, it's like super bullish. But what we have communicated on Discord is that like this is potentially the last round that is going to be like solely focused on like the early community, right? Like from here on out, it's going to be more about getting in larger entities and people that are interested in, bulk purchasing and stuff like that, right? Because, like I think it's actually been a really good, like best of both worlds, especially for any of the super early investors. Like I was lucky enough myself to have a big enough holding in the multiple tokens that allowed the first ever sale, right? The 300 track sale. I was very lucky to get into that because I'd had a lot of activity on my wallet. It had been because there was quite a few parameters. Essentially, you had to be an early investor, right? You had to be an early investor. And so myself and 300 others roughly were obviously eligible for that. And then for the previous 2 rounds, then anyone that wasn't able to get that first round, they probably got their round. So we're talking about it's like 1,200 that are already sold, right? 1,200 validators, and that's super strong, right? From like once we have that up and running, 1,200 validators, assuming that they're all running, which is not going to be the case. There's going to be people that are not running them, or there's going to be people that are just like they want to sell them, right? But even so, that's already a large network. So that's potentially a very bullish sign.
Yeah, that was the play though for the OGs that got in at the cheaper prices, because I mean the next couple of rounds we're talking about what 5,000 track, 10,000 track, and it makes sense that the larger entities are going to have the liquidity for that.
Yeah, I think this is my personal opinion, but the way that I kind of internalize this is like, hopefully by that point, it could be 2 scenarios. I would say, like, one, we had like a horrible bear market, because this was a few months ago, right? Like this was a few months ago. We didn't necessarily know what was going to happen to the price action. But let's say that we did have like a horrible bear market and track somehow was down to like 20 cents. Then I was thinking, well, actually at that point, 1,500 track is not necessarily that much. But here we are, and track's at like $1.4, $1.5. Yeah, it's a lot of money, right? It's like $2,000 for a license for the next round. So yeah, it is a lot of money to be getting in at this point. And I would say that a lot of the larger entities are potentially wanting to see just how much is going to be earned, right? Because we just don't know yet. So this was the play, right? It's been a toss up between, do you want to get in early and guarantee a cheaper price, or do you want to find out exactly how much the rewards are worth in real time, right? Like, because we don't know. There's too many factors. Like we're talking about like the APR from the validator nodes coming out in tap, and they're getting distributed across the network. It's going to be dependent on how much your node is utilized, like so the uptime of the node and how much you actually participate to the network, how many nodes are running, what you paid for the node in terms of your track price, right? Because you might have bought your node for 300, or you might have bought it for 1,000, but they're the same license, so you're going to get the same rewards. So actually trying to calculate an APR is just incredibly difficult. And it also takes into account that the price of tap, which we don't know, and the price of track that is going to be different in the future, right? It's hard to say.
Yeah.
So
100%,
yeah,
100%.
So yeah, I think a lot of people want to see want to see what their
all the answers. They want all the answers now.
Sorry, I'm laughing because one of the advisors just sent me a message on Telegram.
Stop talking about it.
No, they're just ordering me a green screen.
Oh, okay.
So, I love your background. I think you have one of the best backgrounds.
Like,
it's between you and Aaron. From Foxy, you might have one of the 2 best. Aaron got a giant monitor, which it makes me feel like I should order one. But every time I talk to him, like I want that. But you got the piano,
and then I'm just gonna put another piano on it. But just a grand
just make an exact version of your background, but use the green screen. That's funny. Well, I want to ask one last question before we bring Foxy up, because they're down waiting below. Cool. So the question is, for the strategy of converting some of these BRC20 projects to tap before, Fractal launches. Could you go into a little bit of the mindset of that strategy and what you got the team is thinking about that?
Well, I haven't been given any particular guidance about this. All I know is that any team that had minted the BRC20, they have the option to essentially, take control over the same name, right? So, like, let's say that you minted Cool token, right? Just Cool on BRC20, and you wanted to continue the project, but you potentially, maybe you had different use cases in mind that it turned out were not really possible on BRC20. You can then stake, well, you can claim that name and then, control the minting procedure for yourself. So, yeah, it's potentially just a way of getting some of the projects that may well have kind of fallen out of love with BRC20 due to the limitations. Just a way of bringing them back in, right, and having a bit more control over their asset distribution. I think that's just generally the idea, and also just so that it could potentially like remove some confusion about token name duplications, right? Because we've had the same thing happen the other way around, where there's been a tap token that someone has then minted a BRC20 version of, but with just a slight alteration because of the 4-character limit. And then people bought the wrong token, that way around as well. So yeah, it's something that's potentially been on people's mind. We just want to make sure that there's if there's a legitimate project that wants they want to be on both, that we want to make sure that they can have the option of controlling the correct name, right? Their token. We don't want sense. So that, I think that's the general idea behind it. I would say like potentially there's also like a marketing aspect to it, right? Like if let's say that you've got like some random token on BRC20 that's a bit dead, and you look at your wallet and you'd be like, oh, like these people, they also airdropped, they decided to mint their token again on tap and airdrop them to all of the previous holders of, like, something like that could happen. And then suddenly people are like, holy crap, I've got all these tokens, right? It's maybe also just from that point of view, a really good idea just for getting people involved that maybe have kind of like dropped out of the ecosystem to some degree.
Yeah. And this gives people the option as well, because obviously like Fractal's opening and you're gonna be able to take your BRC20s and bridge them there, but this also gives you the option to take your track and not bridge it there and actually bridge it to tap, where you're gonna be able to do swaps and stuff like that as well, right?
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, obviously I think as an investor, options are great, and I think like being able to find something that works for you is great. But just from our team and our perspective, it's like we've always been erring on the side of we want things to be more decentralized, and we want the core vision to be on layer 1 Bitcoin. We're not saying that there's anything wrong with side chains, or there's anything wrong with layer 2s, or there's anything wrong with just doing a Bitcoin fork or whatever. It's just not what we're doing, right? Because it's essentially, it's coming out of the ecosystem that our customer base and our people know us from, right? Like if we're suddenly like, oh, actually, no, we're just going to do a layer 2 and we're just going to do something totally different. If your core audience don't know you from that, it's potentially a bit of a betrayal to some of the people. I mean, I'm not saying that is what they've done, but, like obviously Unisat has gained its popularity and its success, by being a premier marketplace for BRC20s, right? Like if Uniswap existed on BRC20 from the beginning, I don't think anyone would have cared about it, right? They wouldn't have cared about Unisat because they're like, well, using a marketplace like this is kind of clunky and a bit weird. People would have used a swap protocol if it existed back then, but it didn't.
Yeah.
So, like, I think that they did like a really good job of like making like the best product they could have and streamlining it for what was available at the time. And yeah, like I think a lot of their user base comes from that as well. So like, potentially branching off and doing something that's, essentially different. It's potentially going to turn a few heads. It could be good. It could be bad. It's like, it's a bit too much of an unknown for me. But I hope it works out for them. Because, I think any extra bullishness in the Bitcoin space is potentially going to help everyone out, and it's not necessarily just a zero-sum game. I think that's an important thing to remember.
Yeah,
100%.
Exactly. The zero sum game thing is actually really big. It feels like that right now because things are slow. But guys, in the next 6 months to 6 to 12 months, that zero sum game mentality is going to start to slowly fade and eventually really fast fade out because people are going to start making money. And there's going to be basically a lot of opportunities. And so you won't think about that until the bear market comes again. And then zero sum game comes back in everybody's mind again.
Yeah. I think it's like, weirdly, it's a symptom of when this kind of, I call it like PvP mentality, right? Like you've got person v person trading because there's only a certain amount of money and it's just flowing backwards and forwards and rotating. It's normally what we see when memes are doing well. Like, but yeah, like I think for the future, it's not going to matter, once money starts entering the space, once we see like an overall like shift in mentality in the like the whole financial markets. And I think that that's more of a matter of time rather than a if, right? I think it's a when.
Yep. And it is coming, guys. You can remember back from 2017, it was the IDO craze that happened, and it was a different financial, social environment than the 2020, 2021, which we knew that happened. It was like times 5 from the previous one. So it might not be as crazy as 2021, but it happens every cycle. So it is coming, in my opinion. So
I totally agree with you. Yeah, I think these patterns often repeat. They're not necessarily always the same, but they normally rhyme, right? They look similar, right? You as memey as it is, I do think that like just having these 4-year cycles, it seems to just play out pretty much, as we're all expecting. Enough people counter trade it that it seems to just happen anyway.
Yeah. One last question for you, Tom. UPTEMBER or REKTEMBER? You got to pick one.
Is this October or are we talking about September?
No, September. UPTEMBER or REKTEMBER?
I don't know. I feel like maybe the first week or two is not going to be so great, but I think it's going to be an up month on the monthly, right?
Yeah.
If we look at the whole month, I think it's going to be up.
I agree. Awesome. All right. Well, great updates from you, Tom. I'm gonna leave you up, and I'm gonna bring Aaron from Foxy so we can get even more bullish on the tap ecosystem because they're doing some crazy things. So let's go ahead and bring Aaron up. Aaron, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Hey, Tom.
Well,
hey, guys. How's it going?
Going well.
Good, man.
So we are excited about, being able to stream to the entire Bitcoin community here in the next couple of days. Could you kind of give an update, I guess, and maybe get some pre-hype going for us?
Yes, absolutely, man. So we have the beta testing. It's going to be tomorrow again. Thank goodness. The first one was really successful. We had over 200 people that were able to log in and play the game, and we got some excellent feedback from that. We've been working on some of the bugs and adding doing some updates on the game. So we're super excited for tomorrow's beta testing. No matter what, it's gonna be a fun beta test. Hopefully, the clan wars is gonna be really, really amazing. But yeah, we got some great things coming, guys.
Awesome.
So it all begins at I want to say what is it 1 UTC tomorrow, right?
Correct.
Okay. So and then me and Yagobi will be streaming the first 2 hours, and then we're going to be streaming the last 2 hours. Why are the last 2 hours different than the first 24 or the first 22?
Yeah. So the first 22 hours is going to be fun. Everyone's just going to be practicing. Getting to know the game. There's going to be some new beta testers as well that we're going to allow to join the game as well. And then the last 2 hours, that's going to be what counts, right? That's going to be the clans that is actually going to be victorious. So it's going to be a lot of fun, man. And we got some big names coming in here for this clan wars. So I'm excited to see how everyone stacks up, I suppose.
we're doing a clan war meeting tonight with our squad. We got a video. We're gonna do a video with our clan because we want to win. We here at Ordinal Revolution, we consider ourselves winners. We like to win everything. So
hey, I'm competitive too. Hey, I want to see which team I'm gonna be able to play in, right?
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that. So hey. What do we gotta do over here? I don't know. NIL stuff. We gotta sign you up for some.
might have to bribe me with something because I'm a pretty good player.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
One thing that I think could happen with this beta, like the actual competition part, where the clans go up against each other, is I think we can have some unity across different ecosystems within Bitcoin, right? Because I think out of a lot of projects, Foxy is one that really kind of just doesn't really care what the asset necessarily is, for the game, for this and that. You guys are pretty open to be like, hey, look, we just want the entire ecosystem to benefit. So how can you see like the Bitverse clan wars kind of maybe bring this ecosystem together and maybe cut out some of this tribalism? Or will it make tribalism even more intense because Ordinal Revolution wants to beat everybody?
I think it's going to be a little bit more of like a de-stressing, right? It's going to be, it's a little stressed out or something. It's just fun, Games in general, guys, are just really fun. You play it, unless it's Rust, then it might counter. But that game is really frustrating. But I mean, like in general, you just de-stress. You have fun. The last Clan Wars, actually, there was a guy that they had like a little tiny beef, right? And he actually killed him in the game, and then he posted a video about it. He's like, "Hey, look at this guy," him killing him. And it was just really funny. Like, I got a lot of people to comment on the video and laugh at him, But not only the clan war is going to help, get people, together, I suppose, in one place. But there's other aspects to our Bitverse that's going to get, for example, the galleries, right, that we're going to be adding here, the buildings that we're dedicating for certain partners, etc. It just gets a lot of people, that are in one project to see other people's projects. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, and I think it's perfect timing as well, right? Like lately, I've been so bored. I've been, inscribing pictures of my cat on the blockchain, and I've been super bored, right? I've been playing NCAA football. I've been playing Madden. So that's kind of how my favorite thing to do in the world is DeFi and stuff like that, and Bitcoin and ordinals and everything over here. But when I can't do that, like I can't do now, because everything I do, I just lose money. It's like stop trading, right? So then I go and I play video games. So it's a perfect time for Foxy to come out with this, I think, because everyone is really bored with trading, and it would just be nice to kind of sit on our hands and actually play a game where we can kind of all group up together, because we've created all these relationships, especially in this ecosystem, and it would be nice to kind of build on that, but doing it in a friendly environment, and where you can kind of find the block runner guys and see who's the best in the game, right? So
and not only that too, but it's like what we're doing here, it really brings a lot of creativity as well. There's been a lot of people reaching out, actually, wanting to do other things as well to implement inside of our Bitverse, right? Some people want a building. Okay, some people want an actual some different form of gameplay inside of Bitverse as well. I won't discuss any of that stuff. Some people want different items and avatars, etc. So there's really a lot of possibilities, and there's a huge market, guys. Bitcoin, the Ordinal is just getting started. We're only like a year or so into this. It's only getting started. The gaming in general is gonna be huge. So
yeah, I agree. Okay, so let's talk about another pretty big topic for you guys. The BitMiner Mint is coming up, and we're getting some questions on how one can utilize the BitMiner once they acquire it. Could you explain, like, we're all 5-year-old children, how the BitMiner will work? And I know that's hard because DMT is involved, but if you could kind of explain, break that down.
So we're going to make it 2 options. You can actually log into your game, and if you have a BitMiner in your wallet, you're able to activate it inside the game itself, like in the battlefield where you saw the BitMiner in the back. There's actually like a UI that shows what it's mining, has all the details. You can actually activate all the BitMiners that you have in that wallet as well. But we're making a website separately for that as well, just to make it really nice and simple for everyone, to just go in and monitor, what they're mining, how much they've earned, and to activate it, right? Because you are going to have to activate it once a day. So basically to claim the rewards and things like that. We're going to make it nice and simple. There's going to be a video that's going to show you guys like how to use it and everything. And just one touch, we had a pre-sale for the OGs, guys, and we sold 1,000 BitMiners already. So there was 8,500 total. Yeah, man. Now it's going to be 7,500. Okay, so it's really bullish. Everyone seems to really like the narrative. Of course, the DMT guys, they have an excellent, everything that they're doing over there is really excellent. There's a lot of hype around DMT as well, so that's going to be really helpful.
Yeah. Our guy Superfan sold out in a couple hours. It might have been less than that. So that just shows you how big DMT right now. And I think you guys are really smart for doing DMT. It's the hottest thing right now. It's the hottest thing. There's nothing selling out. If a lot of things that go on Magic Eden right now, you'll see, end up keep cutting the price because they're just not selling out. Nobody's buying anything right now. But for some reason, the DMT is getting bought up like hotcakes.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, however, there is going to be there has been a slight delay on the indexing of this new the fourth element. So we're going to have to adjust the date of the inscribed sale. However, we're going to maintain the 5th, and we're going to do it's going to be a pre-sale. We're going to announce that with some more details here shortly.
And the pre-sale, that'll allow me eventually be able to pick up a lot because that's how DMT works. So I basically just get a white list with a guaranteed, already paid. I just claim my block. Okay. Yeah,
the same as the pre-sellers had, our OGs only. We're going to do a sale now for the guaranteed people. So, very important as well, because a lot of people who have guaranteed, they don't have Discord. Do send us a message. Join our Discord if you can. But we're going to set it for guaranteed spots, so you'll be able to hop in and buy it on the 5th.
Yeah, and we'll tweet out your Discord later today too. If anyone who wants to find it, just come back to Ordinal Revolution's Twitter channel later, and we'll tweet out the Discord for you guys to join that to make sure it's official. And you can also go to Foxy's Twitter as well, and you can probably get the Discord right from your link there, right?
Exactly. Send us a message on X. Contact our join our Discord. Yeah. Everything's gonna be pinned on Discord,
and just make sure it's the right Discord. that's the main thing. Make sure it's the official. That's why we're gonna tweet it out later, and you guys can go to Foxy's thing as well. So just be very careful with Discord, guys. I can't say that enough. But
yep. Exactly. Okay, so we went over the beta testing, which is gonna be super fun. We'll be streaming that, and then the BitMiner launch as well here in 2 days. So we've covered both those things. And by the way, Ordinal Revolution will be making a tutorial video as well on how the BitMiner works and how you can do that as well. And so is there anything that we haven't covered? That's a lot already, so no surprise if there's not. But is there anything that we haven't covered so far for you guys in terms of updates?
That's it, really. We have press releases that we released one today. We have some really great press releases that are coming out in the next few days as well. One's from Binance News. Big partnerships are coming as well. I don't think I'll say them right now. But yeah, we're going to do a big push, guys. We're going to push the narrative of gaming on Bitcoin, DMT, Bitmap. That's us. Tap, of course. We can't do any of this without Tap, right? Yeah. So that's our narrative. We're going to be making some big pushes here in the next few days. Great partnerships are coming. So yeah, just stay tuned. Follow us.
Awesome.
I love how you said that like it was nothing. Binance is just writing a report on us. Like that's like the biggest news you could have said. Like that's huge. Binance doesn't do it.
Yeah. Well, when you've been in the game like as long as Foxy and Aaron, in this space, right? Like pretty much since the start, right? We've known these guys for a long time. You kind of get through like, okay, we're still building, and I think that's where that confidence comes from. So, big props to you guys. You guys have been building along the entire way, and so we're super excited. And so, guys, stay tuned for that. I'm gonna keep you up here though, while I bring up the next guest, if that's okay.
Sounds good.
Awesome. All right, we're going to bring up the last guest here for Tap Tuesday, and it's going to be Universe, which was previously Tap Wallet. We're going to go over what their updates are relating to the Tap ecosystem. And so let's go ahead and bring them up. How are you doing?
Hello, how are you? Nice to hear back from you guys. Now finally I'm in my laptop, not in my iPad anymore.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense now to me before. Okay.
Because last week I broke my laptop during a landing. It just crashed and I had to move on everything to here. But anyways, I'm just here to introduce you the first Bitcoin on-chain messenger. I don't know if you have taken a look about it.
So before you jump into that, yesterday's show, Shizzy was messaging one of our community members back and forth on through your messaging platform.
Really?
That's really cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Mr. Sheedy. He got back to me really quickly, and I can actually show you guys exactly what we're talking about here. So these are my messages. I'm very open with my messages, so you guys can all read them up. But my guy, Mr. Sheedy, was here. Sheedy, what's up, man? I wrote Sheedy, and then he goes, "What's up? This is so cool. Didn't know it was here. Thanks. This is why I pay attention, learn new things." Exactly, right? So this is the stuff that we always search the entire ecosystem every morning, trying to find the latest, greatest news. And this was pretty big. And I even messaged Mattyverse, yo, but Mattyverse is too busy for someone like me, so he never got back to me. So, but I think it's really cool that you guys added that feature.
Yeah, it's we call it on-chain because only people with addresses, and it requires a connection. So only after you connect your wallet and you prove that you are actually the owner of that wallet, it means that you can message like other people. That's why only people with Bitcoin addresses can message each other. Can you show up in your screen maybe the chat icons on the if you go on the Index Explorer on the main page on the index?
Go to the homepage.
You can zoom out. Can you press like Control and scroll down with your mouse so it shows that the menus on the top of the page?
Yeah. So
if you press Control,
other way.
zoom out.
Other way. When we go deeper.
No. You're right. You're
yeah.
right.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. You can zoom in a bit more. Yeah. Exactly. So you can see like the menus on the top. Anyway, if you go to the index and to the holders, for example, there. Index.
You go to holders index. Okay.
Yeah. Now you go to UNAT.
Where's the UNAT on the left? On the left.
In the section. Exactly. Yeah. Then click on the collection. For example, Hyros or not goblins doesn't matter.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Just click the wallet.
No. You scroll down.
Okay.
The next page, because that page doesn't have any names registered.
Okay.
For example,
Bill Pan. I know Bill.
Yeah. You click on the chat icon.
Oh.
And then there you go. You can message him directly. Say like, "Hello."
Yo. Let me get a hero, bro. And I can hit send right here. That's awesome. I love that. Now I can message them and potentially be like, he's one of the bigger holders, right? So, shout out to Bill Pan. He's actually someone who watches the show, so that's pretty cool.
So you can message Wales and be like, "What's your next move?"
Basically. I love that. I love that. That is so cool.
All right, I've claimed my name before anyone else does.
That's the thing.
Oh, thank you. You can also go to the marketplace. Try to go to the marketplace now. On the menus. Yeah.
Where are you, marketplace? Okay, right here.
Yeah.
And then marketplace. There you go.
Exactly.
All right.
Now you can also see the chat icon near each name on the marketplace. So you can directly message anybody that he's selling on the marketplace. You can ask him to lower the price or something else. There's the chat icon near each one.
I can just hit that and be like, that's awesome. That's so cool.
See?
Yeah.
And if you click anybody on the Explorer, if you search for a name and put it on the Explorer, you can also do the same thing.
There's Benny. I don't know if that's a real Benny.
I have to check this.
Cool.
So
I love it, man.
I wonder if there ever could be like a verification or verify type thing, to make sure it's the right person. But in that case, you would obviously have to fully KYC and all that stuff.
Well, you could reach out to that person, like, yo, is that you? You know what I mean? If you already have a relationship.
Yes, it's me. Here, click on this link.
but you can reach out to their Twitter handle and be like, yo, is this you?
Yeah.
And then go back and continue.
Exactly, not the KIC, but just connect, like Luminex is doing, like a KIC, not a KIC, but just connecting like the names to the X profile, so they know, okay, this guy is
exactly. If you have to sign it with your X profile,
so,
or sign it with your wallet, I love it.
Anyway, the main idea of the messenger is to keep like this thing anonymous. So people actually they have this avatar / username, and that's the only thing people know about each other. You want to keep it like it's in an anonymous way, so people just connect with each other like without anybody knowing who they are, and be free to tell anything what they want. We're also adding like a feature where users will be able to just decide for how long they want the messages to be cached. They are cached in Firebase, so people can choose like to erase them permanently. For example, after 1 day, 24 hours, after 1 week, or after 1 month, and after that period, they are completely erased from the server. That's something important as well for people not to have like any traits or history of messages that are stored.
Yeah.
And
So we have one question from one of our community members. Says, wouldn't be based on their address? And yes, Kai, everything is based on the Bitcoin address for the messenger system, but anybody can kind of create like a new wallet address and say that they're Shizzy or whatever. And so that's what we're trying to talk about. But like they said, the Bitcoin ecosystem community is very connected to X, so you can just message them directly on X and say, hey, is this you? And pulling their address. So
yes, exactly.
Yeah, all you really got to do too is go up here and you can just type in Shizzy for that matter, right? And then my wallet comes up, right?
There you go. Yeah, and you have the icon there as well. You can chat it directly.
And then you can send me the message just like that. So and if you're fast enough, go grab your name now. So no one does that. Like, so if you are somebody in the community and like someone like Almost Done or someone like Mark from Launchpad, so you can go here, grab your name quickly, so that way nobody takes it like in the future. So I mean,
yeah. Exactly.
I'm extremely bullish on this, as it is built not just for TP but across all the Bitcoin ecosystem. So everybody that has a Bitcoin address can get a name and just communicate. It's the beginning of social fi on Bitcoin. I think it's a big improvement and something that has not been achieved in other chains before in the past. So I'm very happy to introduce it. And
awesome.
Your team over there take Tap Tuesdays very seriously, with every single week having these huge updates, man. You guys are killing it over there. Tom and Foxy, same thing. You got Tap Tuesday has probably the most updates that I've ever been involved in. Right, every single week you guys have something, so it's really cool.
And the community just brings it, man. We're talking about 871 people watching right now live. Come on.
Yep.
Goodness gracious, showing up for sure, and that that's a message I think to the haters of the Tap ecosystem.
Yeah, we are also participating in the Foxy rewards. We are contributing with the. Sorry, there was a bit like we are contributing as well. Some prizes for the Foxy rewards on the Bitminer. We talked before. We will be contributing to their miners. Yeah. So we are very bullish on their projects. So. Yeah, happy to do that and contribute to the ecosystem.
Yeah, we're very bullish with yours, and we appreciate you guys on the things that you guys are doing. Excellent job on the messenger service, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I just sent my first message.
Who'd you send it to?
To you.
Oh yeah, let me go check. Let's see what he said. Let's see.
I just said my own name loudly, like a Pokemon.
That's really funny. He did.
Track Lord.
This is awesome. And I'll repeat that with my Pokemon name.
What is your Pokemon power whenever that happens? He gets alpha. You get alpha whenever you hear that.
You know that you can also post emojis. It's not just text. You can post emojis as well. And later on, we'll support images and everything. Just post an emoji. Like you have to copy paste the emoji there. If you have support,
I gotcha.
Yeah. If you have support there in the future, but now it's just the basic. With time we'll be adding like lots of features. For example, just enter and pushing the message, stuff like that. It's just the beginning of the messenger system. A lot of new features will be added like each day or each week. So
that's awesome.
Very bullish on this.
Yeah, it's such a good idea because it's like not only is it a bit of fun for people to get involved in, but it gets people on the platform, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And our visitors is getting like crazy. For example, in August, it was like the bulliest month ever. We have like 9,000 unique visitors to the page, and just on the first day of September we got 1,000. So it's getting like hyperbolic, like the number of people that are coming to visit it and explore like their names, their holdings on the on the different protocols, on the UNets especially, because it's the only place that you can easily check the UNets that they have. It's perfect.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
excellent.
God for Tap Tuesdays. It's you guys are getting 9,000. I can't wait to, because like I'll say this, like I think Universe is probably the most attended builder. So for you Tap builders that haven't been on Tap Tuesdays, reach out to us on our brand Twitter account, and we'll get you into the Telegram group, because I'm telling you, this is huge. This is big. And obviously we couldn't do this without you guys, the builders here, and Tom, of course. But man, it's turned into something really, really great, I think, for the entire ecosystem in terms of education, a place for builders to update the community on the latest and greatest features that they've added. So to the builders out there that haven't been on, reach out to us.
I wanted to ask Tom, do you have like a deadline for the liquidity pools, like the final code for all the swap system liquidity pools and everything?
I don't know, honestly. I've got a feeling we're probably still a couple of months away from that being up, but I don't know for sure. Potentially, see, like it's such a big deal, right? Like it's such a big deal that I think the team are being very careful about what information to give out, especially to me, because I'm such a blabbermouth. It's very difficult for me to not get, to not put my foot in it a little bit. But no, I think, we'll just have to wait and see for that. Like it's very much a dev question, I would say. So, yeah. Sorry.
Okay, totally understand. Yeah, we're just bullish on it, and we wanted to implement it on the swap system. That's all.
Oh, I have been told we're looking at about 3 to 4 weeks, maybe. So that's a ballpark for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny.
My hands are just letting me know.
Well, one of your handlers hit us up, said, "Yeah, we have some alpha for you," and then someone else chimed in and said, "We'll give it to you in 6 hours." We're about 72 hours waiting for this alpha that we're supposed to receive. But
I know there's stuff coming really soon. So sometimes it's like the timing can be a little awkward,
Yeah. First of all, I didn't know how big of a deal Tom was. He has a handler. Goodness. One of your handlers?
He's the president, bro. Nah, just kidding. He said it first. I just copied.
Yeah. He just watched to make sure I don't say anything wrong.
But
and what about the validator licenses? We want to put them on the marketplace as well. We want to create like a category, especially for track validator licenses. So maybe it will be like a token or an NFT. That's something we want to do as well, to be at least one of the first marketplaces to trade it.
That's a good idea. I don't know like whether it's been 100% decided, but it's going to be like a tradable of some kind. So whether that's an NFT or a DMT or literally just a token that you have one of, there'd be kind of a boring way of doing it. So
perfect.
I'm hoping it's like an NFT, to be honest. That would be my preferred route, because I think that just gives it a bit of extra pizzazz, right? But I don't know. But yeah, some form of tradable, and potentially.
I think it would be a good idea to be like a child parent inscription, because if it's an NFT, then you have to inscribe it, like for everyone. Right. It's going to be a bit costly. If it's a child parent, it's going to be much easier and much cheaper. But yeah, perfect. We are waiting for that as well.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, man, I feel like Universe is like, they were a bunch of like community members from last cycle, and so now they're like builders that act like community members. So they're like, I want to build right now, I want to build everything, which is awesome. It's good, but at the same time, it's kind of like when these releases come out and stuff, it's going to be very, very exciting, right? Because like once you guys have like the information about the liquidity pools and all that stuff, I just think people really need to pay attention to the TAP ecosystem. But anyways, go ahead, Shizzy.
Yeah, well, that's the thing though. It's very boring right now, right? So for especially like the Universe, like with you guys aren't taking the fact that people really aren't listing and stuff like personally. It's kind of just like, it's kind of like, we're just gonna keep building new crap. Like, that's the best part about this TAP team is, and everyone in the ecosystem. It's just kind of like they don't care what people say. They just keep building and building and building and putting out. And it's like when people are always just like, well, when, and it's like, if TAP did put something out right now, if everyone just put out everything right now, then it would when the bull market came, it would be old news, right? You want to roll with the hype, and I feel like we're definitely getting a mixture of that going through, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, long-term, consistent habits, right? That's what you want to do. Just a little bit of growth every day.
100%.
And yeah, just going back to something you were saying earlier that I didn't get a chance to chime in on, is the DMT, the whole DMT thing, right? Like, I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, they are selling out, and it's like one of the only things that are selling out. And I think that kind of, it's showing that there's still a lot of people that have a lot of like belief in the long term that are potentially still willing to put their money where their mouth is, and that's like a really good sign, because a lot of those people are going to be very diamond-handed, I think, because if you're the kind of person that buys during the dip, you often don't panic sell, right? You wait until the time is right, and you go for the long game, essentially, right? So I think the fact that people are buying DMTs right now is that there is some expectation that, like, within the next, like, let's say 3 to 6 months, they're potentially going to be like a really big deal. And I think that, like, that is what we're seeing, right? Like, we're seeing that they are selling out, and I think that that's great. And I think Fitzy just released Fitzy and the tap. We released a video on DMTs recently because there's a lot of confusion about it. So I think for anyone that doesn't know what it is, that might be a good watch.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's just a really good point. I mean, it's just one of the assets that are on the tap ecosystem, but it's cool that it's something that's got like a very strong following, and that can only improve, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was me, right? I'm the type of guy. I had listened to Black Runner talk 6 times, and I was like, I still don't understand what the hell they're talking about, right? But then once you experience it, once you go to mscribe and click on the block that you want, and then you kind of see, like, for me, was when the vessels came out, and then I saw my vessels and how different they were from everyone else's. That's when I started understanding very much. I'm not a person that you can just be like, hey, do this. I'm going to be like, what the hell? But if I actually put my hands into it and start messing with it, that's when I completely understand it. And I think sometimes it just takes messing with it, and I think a lot of people are finally, for the first time, getting their hands dirty and actually playing over there, because you are getting a lot of users.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper to learn right now as well. Like the on-chain fees are like 3 or 4 VB sats right now. Yeah. If you were messing around with any of this stuff 6 months ago and paying 100, you're like, oh god.
Yeah, you can make your cat into the blockchain for $10.
Yeah, and you did. You can, and you did. So yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, Universe, does that pretty much cover all the updates from you guys?
Yeah, we are implementing a lot of stuff, but it's not top related, so we'll keep it for later.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, you're always welcome back on the show for a separate, pre-recording episode that can focus, solely on those kind of things as well. So we'll definitely have you back on. Yeah, we'll definitely have you back on for that. Great, yeah. But another amazing, Tap Tuesdays, right? This was a really, really good one. I feel like there's just so many updates and stuff that's coming up. So let's go ahead and give some final words. I'd like Ordi. I'm going to let Ordi speak and Aaron speak, because Ordi didn't get a chance earlier. But Ordi, could you kind of kick us off and maybe give some final words to the audience on what to be excited about the next couple of days?
Yeah, stay tuned for the BitMiner sale and beta testing version 2 for the clan wars. Get ready with your clans. And
get ready.
Yeah.
Let's go. Aaron, you want to follow up with that?
Well,
just
quick,
follow us. Go ahead. Sorry.
Aaron got a comment here. It says you have a fan. He says, A-Rod, what a cool dude. So that was really cool. But go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
Okay. No, just follow us on X, please. Do join us on Discord, because there's a lot of people that won guaranteed spots and first come first serve, and they're not in our Discord. But if you can't join our Discord, then do send us a DM on X. We'll answer you guys.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that. And then Universe, finally, if you could give some final words to the audience. Oh, sorry. You might have. Can you give some final words?
Sorry. Yeah, I did. No worries. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. We hope that we have built like a lot of infrastructure for Tap and Bitcoin in general, and I hope people start to use it more. We have a lot of visitors, but we don't have the people actually using the services, like listening things on a marketplace. DMT tokens. Come and get your DMT tokens that you have, like DMT, NET, like all these kind of tokens, just go there, list them, and create some volume on the marketplace, because it's going to be, in the end, it's beneficial for everybody. It's going to create like a better social platform, so everybody can engage and just trade together in a good environment, and everyone to be connected now with the shot system. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And I'll actually do something. The next 3 people that message me, I will send you something. So all you have to do is go here, go to tapwallet.io, click the little 3 bars here, go down the chat, type in Shizzy, and then send me a message. The next 3 people that send me a message, I will send you something. I promise. So
Does it
I will
have to be
do
a
that.
nice, does it have to be a nice message?
It can be Shizzy, go fuck yourself. I mean, it doesn't matter. It can be absolutely anything.
Gotcha. That's awesome.
Like letting them last, right?
Oh yeah, Tom got it.
Tom says,
Hey, Tom's got the first one.
Tom wins. All right, so the next 2 people.
But yeah, that's awesome. We're utilizing these platforms live on Tap Tuesdays, but
we could do that for our giveaways, though. Honestly,
yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's true. That is true. Okay, all right, Tom. Let's go ahead and close it out with your final statement here.
I mean, I would say that, like, I mean, I've had a lot of fun, like, with this chat protocol, but yeah, in all seriousness, it's so cool to see all these new things being built, and like the people and the enthusiasm. So like on that side of things, it's like very hard not to be like engaged and bullish in the space. From a person, like from a like track point of view, then yeah, like I guess like. In Discord and in Telegram, I have been seeing a little bit of like, let's say, a mild annoyance at people, like, when this, when that. And, I just want to stress that, like, a lot of these things take a lot of time. It really is soon. Hopefully there should be some big stuff coming in September. So let's all just be patient for a little while longer, and then hopefully we'll all be rewarded. And like it's all good things coming forwards. So let's see how it goes. And I'm hoping that the Ordinals Revolution podcast will be breaking thousands, hopefully during the bull run. 10,000. Let's get 10,000.
Yes, let's do it. Well,
960. So we definitely enjoy Tap Tuesday. Tap Tuesday's definitely been, we usually get about between 4 and 500. So this is very nice change in pace for us. We double on Tap Tuesday, so we're very happy about that.
One thing, guys. One thing we forgot to mention: Amsterdam, right? That's going to be amazing for the Tap, and also the side projects as well. We're going to be hosting an event. We're finalizing that. We got the prices in. I think it was just yesterday. So there's like 3 or 4 good projects that are going to be doing a side event with TAP. So that's going to be amazing.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yes. So
yeah, that will definitely bring a lot of eyes to the ecosystem, because it's going to be a massive event. I'm going to be there. There's going to be plenty of the TAP team that's going to be there. I know that, as you say, a lot of the large teams from TAP are going to be there as well, like you guys, and I think Ghosty are going to be there as well. So yeah, it'd be a really cool opportunity to meet up, and I think it will be a good opportunity to get a lot of people that might not necessarily know about TAP to get introduced to the space as well.
100%.
It's gonna be fun.
All right. Real quick, while I got Universe here. So Universe, I'm getting messages coming in, but I cannot see who is sending them. Is that because they don't have names?
Or something for the room service.
Or maybe he's ordering room service.
They haven't got a name yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
that's probably why.
So you guys need to go get your names. I think that's the problem, because I can't see who's sending me this. So guys, if you're out there and you're sending me these, I already got the 3 winners, but you guys need to get your Tap Wallet name. So
yeah, exactly. Okay, guys. Well, we appreciate you guys, the builders, and
thank you,
Tom, of course, as always. Until next Tuesday, we will talk to you later.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for
always.
Thank you, guys.
See you later.
All right. Let me get it. Okay, there you go.
So definitely amazing day. 967 people in here, guys. We appreciate all you guys. We know it's a very hard time to be paying attention, but the people that are here, the people that are paying attention, are definitely gonna reap the benefits of this. And you should be proud of yourself that you're actually in here right now, because that means you're probably gonna make it. And I truly mean that. And last September, I said the same thing. And then in October, November, December, and January, we made out like bandits. Right, we had that Bitcoin just falling in our laps. So, and I feel like that's gonna be very crucial for this next big leg up that we get here. So,
yeah, exactly. There are a couple of questions in the chat for us specifically. So, Glasshopper, one of our members, is asking, "What time is our member video?" I was thinking you wanted to shoot for 8 p.m. Eastern. Does that work?
yeah, I'm. What's today? I think I'm good. I'm good to go. Yeah, I don't have anything.
All right.
For 8 p.m.
So we'll create that live stream for the members and 8 p.m. Eastern for that. Let's see if there was any other questions in the chat. I think that was the only one that was directed towards us specifically.
Tom says next time he will bust out a song, so that'd be cool. I noticed that I was going to ask him about that, but the piano was in the back. I didn't want him to not be ready. So, but shout out to Tom, man. Thank you so much, as always, man.
Yep. That was awesome Tap Tuesdays for sure. But guys, if you have a moment, please check out our partners. Start with BitPerp, the premium perpetual DEX. It's going to be launching on a Bitcoin Layer 2 in Q4. The paper trading competition is coming up. We'll get you guys some information. It should be coming up here in the next week or so. But you can research them further on their X account or bitperp.io. And then you have our partner Ordinal Hive, the Blur of Bitcoin. They have an aggregator marketplace on native Bitcoin, and then scaled solution on Merlin chain. But you can use their platform right now at beta.ordinalhive.io, earn points, and you can turn those points into tokens possibly in the future. Fluid tokens, we talked about them earlier in the show. They announced that they are about to offer layer 1 staking to the public. So if you are an Ordinal project founder or a Runes project founder, you can reach out to them directly and find out how you guys can set up staking for your community. That's going to be super exciting. You can also trade Runes on their DEX. They use the buy and sell limit orders as liquidity, and they split up the Runes for you, so you don't have to do all that headache of work there. So you can check them out on their website or their X account. Verothium DEX VDEX is a layer 2 Merlin chain solution for synthetic Bitcoin layer 1 assets. You can right now stake BRC 420s there. They have the mines. They have the blue box, they have the Dragon Ball. They're going to add more, so it's going to be exciting. And you don't have to do anything. You can just stake those single staking, and you can earn the Verothium gas token and just earn that up. So visit them at verothiumdex.io. And then finally, Foxy, we just talked about them. The next couple of days is going to be exciting, fun. Just be ready to be competitive, because that's how me and Shizzy are naturally. So we're going to make sure that you guys are holding up your weight if you're on the Ordinal Revolution clan. If you're not, you're out. No, I'm just kidding. But it'll be fun. Stay tuned to the members only live stream tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to go over the details on how to join the team, and we appreciate you guys checking out our partners there.
100%. And real quick, I just want to hit on this one more time. So I am getting these numbers in here. So if you give me your wallet addresses, guys, because I don't know, if I like track with Tom, I can actually hit on him and I can get his address. But you guys without names, send me. So whoever this is, second, send me your wallet address. Kai Effect, put your wallet address in here, man, so I can send you. And then Jax, you're number 3, so send me your wallet address, and I'll make sure I send you guys something cool. So just put it in there, and it should be fun. But guys, please check out ordinalrevolution.com. We have some of the best articles over there, guys. Articles dating back all the way to last September. So check those articles out. And if you know someone just entering the ordinal space, send them our website. We really feel like we can help them out a lot just with the articles that we have up there. So check those out as well. And if you're interested in merch, we have some of the best merch. Best. So check out our merch guide. Hit the little store, take you to our Shopify. Sorry, and so what we use a third party. So we don't see your address, we don't see any of that. So you don't have to worry about anything like that with your address. We know a lot of people are really weird about that, but that is fine. I mean, because it's a third party who gets it. It's the same thing as ordering from Amazon or something like that. So definitely check out our merch. And guys, we're live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. So check us out all week, guys. We'll be here tomorrow. We got a very special show tomorrow. We potentially, because these guys, they stood us up 3 times before, so I'm not getting my hopes up, but we might have the BTC machines on tomorrow at 11:30 so Eastern, so check that out. And then obviously tomorrow, 2 hours before our live stream, we're gonna go live before that with just doing Foxy and playing the game and showing you guys how to set it up. So definitely check that out if you're interested in playing the Foxy game. So tune in to Ordinal Revolution on YouTube and X and Spotify and Apple and everywhere else. But guys, we will see you tomorrow.
Peace.
We OG, oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Rooms is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.